This is the Matrix Awakens, an Unreal Engine 5 experience. So this is an entirely free tech demo of what Unreal Engine 5 can do. It is technically, I guess, the second console experience running off Unreal Engine 5 because Fortnite got the Unreal Engine 5 update like just a few days before. But the idea of this is it's supposed to show us kind of where the technology is going this generation, just when we fully break away from last gen consoles and whatnot. And it's just supposed to be like, it's all real-time gameplay, what you're seeing. And the idea is just to be like, hey, this is the type of quality we're getting here.
Reflecting back who and what we are and the choices we make, the worlds we build. They also confront us with questions about why we want to choose this over that. Why we want to make X instead of Y. Where do ideas of who we are and what we want even come from?
You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
This isn't real.
What is real?
How do you define real?
For instance, I'm not even sure why I'm here. I remember waking up and thinking that I'm supposed to come here. That it was important for me to ask people, how do we know what is real? Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves. Over 20 years ago, I first played the character Thomas Anderson in the Matrix trilogy. Those films pioneered digital cinema with shots like bullet time. Back then, we talked a lot about where the digital age might take cinema and narrative. In an industry where actors have tried to remain perpetually young, we wondered about digital faces that could become immortal.
Hi, I'm Carrie-Anne Moss, and I played Trinity in the Matrix films. 20 years ago, we asked ourselves how long it would be before faces and bodies could be changed as easily as we change clothes.
We wondered, what would identity mean in a completely digital world?
And what would reality mean when a world we can build feels as real as our own?
Whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, this is what they wanted. They said they were fine with your theoretical mumbo-jumbo, but they needed some sexy action.
Who said?
The marketing people.
Marketing?
The marketing
I
people.
thought we were supposed to have total creative control.
Welcome to the Matrix.
You still got it.
Like riding a bike, they say.
I sometimes miss this version of us.
Me too.
The hell are you doing back there?
Sorry, I was told this is a sim preparing me to fight the system.
Right on. You know about this?
Yeah. It's all supposed to be a little unreal.
Word of advice. Agents are bad. But whatever you do, stay the hell away from marketing. See you soon.
Okay, so that's really visually quite interesting, but there's something off about how the characters kind of move.
Shoot the tires.
Does that make sense? Like, the environment is hyper realistic. Like, hyper realistic. But the people, there's something off about their movement. Like, this looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, there's something off about people movement. So anyways, it's dynamic 4K for sure at 30 FPS is what we're getting here.
And there are lots of frame drops, as you'll see, and it uses temporal upscaling in order to get the higher resolution imagery.
This looks now this looks amazing. Like this, because you can tell it's like a video game thing, because you know we have the sequences and the buttons, but like if you actually take, you know, that element out of it, it basically looks like real life. This is amazing. absolutely amazing.
Sorry, boys.
Like, that is so crazy.
We need cover.
Hang on.
It looks movie-like, and this is because Unreal Engine is going to be, you know, kind of fueling not only our games, but they're going to start like integrating this stuff into film properties. So that's why we're going to start seeing some huge advancements, you know, gameplay-wise. Is there like a settings? I don't even think there's like a pause button or anything, which is neat, but also not neat. But this is so interesting. Like, this is all on rails. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing gameplay where I'm actually like walking around. It's film-like.
Okay, how about the big gun?
Thought you'd never ask. You boys are gonna get a kick out of this.
Like, I'm so intrigued by where this could go for other games in the future. And I think this is one of the first tech demos I've ever seen actually arrive on like a console. Usually the tech demos are all just like on PC and stuff. But like this is all just on rails, right? Like I'm not even basically doing input. I'm essentially just like holding the trigger down and shooting stuff. Which is, you know, a lot of games do moments like this, and I get the point of it is to make it like, hey, you know, it's a movie game, but yeah, you're not really doing anything, but like the level of quality of the assets, of the environment, you know, what they've created here, because this is all real time, right? Looks like a heavy use of film grain too. That is spectacular. The funny thing, though, is when you look at games, every time you see like a huge innovation for game stuff, and you look at it from like 10 years on, it looks. So I'm wondering how much better visuals are getting, or are we getting to? Is there going to be like a threshold? I would imagine at some point a threshold of like diminishing returns on stuff, gameplay wise. But that was crazy. Like that really was genuinely crazy looking. So I'm assuming now we're gonna see, oh, now they're gonna do some stuff, toggle mass AI visualization. But is that mass AI visualization? Because it's just like they're just moving things. Well, that's intriguing. Global illumination and reflections. Yeah, that's the lumen technology. It's amazing that it could change so fast. Rule-based object placement. Wow. So that's the temporal reconstruction that they're doing. Procedural audio generation. So a lot of the stuff is AI handled and driven in this Unreal Engine 5. I've tried MetaHuman. I have a video where I actually show off the MetaHuman creation system. Now this actually, to me, even looks more impressive than the cinematics, because the character like model and the face structure, it's kind of amazing. How do they move? This is crazy. So there is a menu. Do we have any like choices here? So you could change the amount of the crowd, the matrix filter. So you can actually do like a nanite view, and you can see how it's creating. I've never seen anything like this on consoles. And that's not even like super dense triangle usage, because I've seen like, you know, the other Unreal Engine 5 stuff where they're going like hardcore on it. Matrix filter. So you can even turn the matrix filter on. Okay. Wow. Wow. That is so cool. I'm trying to change the different options. Photo mode, main menu. So they've actually created a whole city that you can kind of move around in. And you can fly. But do you go into first person with flying? That's a bit odd. Oh, is there like, okay, here we go. Walk, speed up. Altitude up. Like, this looks like a real city. Like a genuinely real city. And there's actually like... So usually when you go into... Like, it's not perfect in the interiors, but usually when you do an open world, every one of these rooms will just be a flat image. But there's actual depth to the different rooms. And they've... Why did they spend... Like, why did they spend so much time, like, making all of this? Because it's a tech demo. Like, holy hell! This is amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. And I can't believe I'm playing this on a console. I wish I could see third person so I could see the character flying through. But I genuinely cannot believe that this is on a console. And it's very, very light little bits of pop. I don't know if you noticed that, but little texturing of pop in as you're moving through it. Let's speed up a little bit. Like, this is genuinely the most impressive thing I've ever seen in gaming. Like, legitimately the most impressive thing I have ever seen. So we could actually go all the way to the downtown here. This is absolutely insane. I am just... Okay, can we just, like, be up on this rooftop here? No, you can't get up on the rooftop? Okay. So that's a limitation, is the flying. Okay. Because I was like, oh, maybe I can land up on the roof. Is that not, like, a thing? Let me speed up. Let's kind of go up here. And be, like, walk. Okay, so no, it like, sets you back down. I was kind of hoping I was going to get to play as Neo, though. I wanted to run around as Neo in this. So can we take these cars? So we could just drive any of these cars. Like, you could shoot, like, a movie within this. I don't think you can... Can you hit people? Okay, so there are car physics. Because I'm just, like, wondering if you can, like, hit the people, but it seems like they've placed enough traffic that it's a little hard to... Okay, here we go. Can we run the people over? That's what I'm all about. Oh, they can't break anything, it looks like. I can't reverse as the car smashed? That makes sense. Okay. This is legitimately unreal. Can I have this car? No? Police officer in it? What about this car? Okay, so there's no carjacking, but you can just, like, drive vehicles. I just want to see if you can, like, mow down the pedestrians. Can I go through the stops? Okay. So, there's no physics applied to the stop signs, or, like, items. So you can't, like, smash through stuff. Alrighty. Like, I mean, I love to look for limitations in games. That's one of my favorite things. That's why I'm kind of like trying to see what I can like impact with. Okay, here's a good group of people. You just like phase through them. I don't think like it's dense too. Like the people population is dense. This makes Insomniac Spider-Man look kind of a little bland. And that game is damn impressive. Like one of the most impressive open worlds I've played is Insomniac Spider-Man, and I guess that one has more mechanics to it, obviously, and this is just a tech demo, but like the car density, like I want a Spider-Man game that looks like this. Like legitimately. We need some like real life comparisons. But this is I don't even like just the ways that they achieve this is just like outstanding to me. Like you feel like you're in an actual place. And you're seeing all the cars bunch up and stuff. And that there is destruction on the vehicles too. That is so cool. Can we? I'm actually kind of curious about this. Let me see. Is there... Okay, so you can change the sun rotation. Because I'm like, I wanted to see it kind of at night. Huh. Is there like a night option? So there's the camera mode. Mega City running. Doesn't look like we can change, at least I'm not noticing the option to change this to night. But you get this like whole island world. Like this is even, I would say, bigger than some of the islands that you would play in like last gen games. And this one has all of... Did that guy even wave to me? There's even like... Yeah, are those birds over there in the distance? I'm surprised that they spent so much time putting this together. Like the character models are spectacular. I'm assuming that's the metahuman technology, which again, I have a video going over metahuman. It's fascinating. I'm assuming there is going to be repetitions in the people population, which makes sense, but... Huh. This is legitimately amazing. I wish you could, like, jump around and stuff. Like, there's trash on the street, too. Like, I mean, it's a walking sim, right? Like, so you're not... We're not doing, like, you know, shooting. We're not smashing. We're not doing stuff like that. That's funny. Gaming worlds never, they never disappoint. That's for sure. They never disappoint. They still got the bugs, right? That's funny. But even, like, the bodily proportions for our character that we're playing as seem to be really well done. I am so amazed by this. Like, the visuals of the buildings. Wow. I feel like I'm really limited, though, by being able to just, like, walk around and stuff and not being able to, like... Because, you know, we showed off the flying and stuff, but you're not, like, a character. Like, it would have been cool to be a character flying around. I guess it's basically just, like, the equivalent of, like, a drone perspective. But I'm trying to think of the amount of time that this took to put together. But then I'm thinking, you know, with everything being so AI-driven, is that how they achieved a lot of this? Like, it's not necessarily, like, hand-placed. It's more like you know, they kind of just did interactions. Like, even, like, the traffic density and, like, the quantity of, like, the buildings is just phenomenal. So I'm gonna look at these shops here. Okay, you can't get up there. That's definitely more 2D like. It gives the perception, but there's still like stuff in some of these. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not like amazing, the interior there. But there's actually like models. Like, there's 3D models and signage that have been put in there. A low res, yes, but traditionally in an open world like this, you know, you wouldn't get that. It would just be like a flat image would be shown on the building. So you don't look, right? You don't look at that. Most people don't dive into it. I mean, obviously you can tell the reflections are very game-like because you can see a significant drop in like the fidelity of reflections. But I mean, like, unless you're really looking for flaws, I think if you showed a regular person this and you weren't like using a controller, they might think that this is actually like a movie, like a computer generated movie. It's just absolutely remarkable, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting frame drops even with the VRR kicking in and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of maybe what you've seen while doing this, but I mean, like, you know, it's understandable. Like, this is ridiculous. It does seem like anytime you touch something with your vehicle, though, it just stops functioning. I'm kind of wondering if we can get up on like an overpass or something like that and get a different perspective. Summit Nations gamers. Like, just, if we just pause here for a second. You see glimmering, flickering on the buildings and stuff, but you really have to like look for flaws. I don't know if other people are as like mind blown as I am, but this is legitimately I think like a groundbreaking sort of showcase for what gaming is gonna be like at some point. Like, if you think we've hit our fidelity roof, I would say that this shows that we haven't. Like, this shows that there's still room to go. Like, I can point out things where I'm like, this could be better, that could be better. But like, it kind of makes me think is like, yeah, there's a lot of room for our visual fidelity to improve. But my thing is, it's like, you know, the amount of time that it would take somebody to put this together, unless there's like heavily reliance on like using, you know, AI techniques to kind of scale this and build this, you know, it would take like so long for people to make like a game out of this, right? Like, you know, with missions and dynamic things and combat and interactions. But I'm kind of wondering, you know, this type of visual, let's say we make a game where you're walking around, there's light interactions, like a narrative game, like a game where you're maybe doing, you know, like a murder mystery, or you're investigating something, or, you know, light interactions. You could pull off this type of world, and this clearly shows that is possible. It makes a lot of the games I've played look cartoonish, almost. Like, even games that go for a little bit of realism. I don't know if I'm like overhyping this to some people, but like legitimately, this is like, I could just wander around in here for like hours probably, just being like, whoa, at every turn. It's almost actually annoying how much traffic there is, because I'm trying to get around to just keep showing things off. And I feel like I'm in an actual city. Like, it's like a Google Maps kind of thing. Now, I do wonder, could you use, like, Google Maps or Bing Maps? Because Flight Sim does that to replicate the world, but could you replicate it at this scale? Could you do, like, a Flight Sim thing and then land and get out and, like, walk around, like, a city street? I am so wondering about this. This is incredible. I wish there was another, like, cinematic piece or two I could do with like shooting in that, just to see more action. But and I'm playing this like it's not like a super high powered like god PC or anything. It's straight up like a console doing this. They weren't kidding when this is like a tech demo. I am just flabbergasted. This might be one of the kind of big things where you like look back years from now being like, do you guys remember the Unreal Engine demo? Okay, let's go walk around this park. Okay, when you move around your character, you see like all the fuzz lines for like lower res kind of popping up. It is fun though. I legitimately have a lot of fun kind of looking at things and being like, okay, how do we break this down? But like, you show a regular person like this, like I think my like grandparents would probably just be like, they literally would be stunned by this. Like legitimately, just absolutely stunned by what this is. like it's not it's obviously it's not a game, you know, there would be so many gameplay mechanics, but it's a glimpse into what can be. Like it's also like crystal clear, because I've always, you know, I don't know if you've ever looked at like trash in games, but there's like scribbles and text or, you know, paintings, and I've been saying that recently our paintings in games and our like posters are starting to look incredible, but this is even sharper. Like it's actually like a sharp resolution that's used here. Like it actually looks like a material thing. This is going to be such an exciting generation of gaming. Like legitimately just complete mind blowing on this one. I can't even. And just the way they've done the lighting, like the lumen system is just fascinating. How the lighting has been achieved here. And again, the reflections and stuff. And wow, bravo. Epic. Bravo. That's what I've got to say on this one. This is a legitimately remarkable achievement in like technology and gaming. And then, you know, I guess depending on how long I'm around doing this stuff, I would love to come back to this demo in like 10, 20 years. I hate that every time you hit something, you're just like your vehicle stops working, but I'd love to come back to this in 10, 20 years and see how things shape up in comparison to this. Like, you know, how like the tech goes. Because this is so cool, but like I said, you know, when you look at this and you compare this to things we had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you compare this to like movies and tech, and we're gonna start getting some legitimately, okay, we need to do that, but at like a fast speed. That's what I was trying to set up. We need a fast speed to do that. But we look at this and we compare this to like the technology and what we're gonna get. The technology. But, you know, we compare that to this, and we compare the movies and stuff we're getting. Even movies like 10, 20 years ago don't look as amazing as they do today. You know, the technology keeps getting better and better. And I actually think in movies, they actually hold off a lot, if you didn't know. Because, you know, they like usually they only digitally master things in like 2K most of the time. So they're actually really holding back on the special effects they could be doing, but it's a budgetary thing. And I'm just kind of like, you know, wondering, hey, where could they really push things? Because like I said, they're gonna start using these engines, or they're already using these engines for like film-like situations where you don't have the limitations of the game. See, games have to be interactive, right? And that changes a lot of how something is fundamentally designed and created. But in a movie, you're just creating a scene, a scenario, and you have these powerful computers like render everything. It's just absolutely spectacular, though, to be able to explore this kind of scenario in a game. I am absolutely blown away. Like, I keep saying that, but you know, it's crazy what they've done here with this thing. It's so monumentally fascinating. To me, it's fascinating. It's so many different angles. And I guess that's kind of the Unreal Engine 5 experience with the Matrix. A good tie-in, a good time to do this. I mean, if this is what games are gonna look like soon, we are in for some visual treats. You know, the games I grew up with are probably gonna look pretty, like, archaic to future generations. Oh, wow. You know, holy, like, seriously, it makes Insomniac Spider-Man look a little, like, cartoon-like, which is funny. Wow. So cool.